I was asked to talk about PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. So basically, what happens with this condition is you either experience a life-threatening situation, like a situation where you believe you are going to die, something horrible is going to happen to you, and and you're helpless to do anything about it, and or you are witnessing somebody else in that situation, and you also are helpless to do anything about it, and it's a horrific scene, and it shakes you up big time. So it could be in combat, it could be an earthquake, it could be a car accident. It could be, it could be a home invasion, robbery, anything that is a shock to your system that scares the crap out of you. And what happens is, what it does is it like resets your thermostat, so to speak. It resets your vigilance thermostat, or your fight or flight thermostat. So what happens is, like, for example, suddenly after a traumatic event, you're hyper vigilant. You're like, you're wary of, like, there could be something could come out of nowhere at any time and like attack me, and so you're scared of people, you're scared of situations. At any moment something bad could happen. So you're hyper vigilant, much more environmentally aware than you used to be, and than most people are. And it's unnecessary. It's just a high level of anxiety, a high level of adrenaline people are walking around with, and they have a hyper-startle response where they hear a sound and they'll jump, like really big time, where other people might ignore that sound completely. They have depression, they have anxiety, they have insomnia, they have irritability, they have a sense of a shortened lifespan. They do very poorly in their relationships. It's a terrible disorder, and and what will happen is, so let's say somebody was in a fire, and it was horrific, and then after they're healed and all, and it's all over, if they hear a fire alarm, or if they hear a fire engine going by with a siren, they start shaking. They freak out. They have a panic attack, and because it triggers the memory of what had happened to them, and it's as if it brings it all back, and they just get crazy. Or they could even be watching TV or a movie and see like a fire in a movie, and that could freak them out. Or talking about the incident could freak them out. Thinking about it can freak them out. But driving past a fire, driving past the house where it happened, the fire that burned, that can freak them out. So it's a tough illness, and there are a variety of treatments for it. There are medications, there's talk therapies, there's cognitive behavior therapy, there's EMDR, is a desensitization thing where you try to desensitize a traumatic event from the past and eliminate it. All those things are used and explored and help people. Now, some people think during therapy that if you get people to talk about the event, you can flood them and overwhelm them. It's really bad. Or if you purposely expose them to a similar event, that can freak them out and flood them, and it's not so good. And it could do that, and you got to be wary of that. But my feeling about it is like any phobia, any fear. If you have a phobia or a fear of something, you need to kind of gently expose yourself to it and breathe through it. So you take little baby steps. It's successive approximation. So you don't immediately, like, let's say you're afraid of snakes. You don't immediately like grab a snake, and go, hey, I'm fearless. No, you'll start out by like looking at snakes in a book, and you'll start to get anxious and panicky, and you calm down. You remind yourself that there's no real threat here. You're safe. Nothing bad is happening. Breathe through it. Get calm. Anytime you reach a level of success, when you reach a level of success of controlling and not reacting to that picture of the snake, then you might want to, like, hey, watch a movie about a snake where the snake is moving around and maybe hissing, and that's scaring you, and that's bringing the adrenaline on and the panic attack on, and you breathe through it. You relax, you calm down. You get to the point or repeated exposures to at this minimal level of that level of exposure until you get good at like really not being reactive at all to it. Then you go to the next level of exposure. So maybe you might go to a zoo, and look at the snake from a far distance in the zoo. And again, you get all panicky, you get all wired, you calm down, you breathe through it, you relax, you get to the point where you're okay looking at a snake in a zoo. And then finally you might, I wouldn't pick up a rattlesnake. That doesn't seem like a smart idea, but you might pick up a garden snake, some snake that has no potential to hurt you, has no venom, but still has the potential to scare the crap out of you. And you get to the point where you can pet the snake and without freaking out, and you have overcome your phobia. Now, this is a simplistic example, but that's what you need to do, and you need to do that with any phobia. With PTSD, if you can't go out of the house because you're afraid you're going to pass a fire station, you got to like learn how to breathe through it. As you get closer to the fire station, you calm yourself down to the point where you can neutralize, that circuit. You on a short circuit, that loop, that emotional loop. It's and you can do it.